What's going on, everybody? You found Bottom Tier Collector, and I'm your host, BTC. Tonight, I'm bringing you a bottom tier trade with a top tier YouTuber. Bottom tier on my end, I think I got some pretty top tier books for my collection. We'll just have to see what you guys think in the comments about these books. I did a trade within the last couple of weeks with Aaron Gilbride, aka Psychotronic Squirt Gun. Many of you probably know him in the community. Great guy, gentle spirit. That's what the adjectives that come to mind when I visit Aaron's channel. Gentle spirit, very, very gentle and nice, and a generally sweet person. But he's got a great sense of humor, good times in his chats, and those chats are kind of where this whole trade festered. We communicated back and forth over me wanting the doubles of his American flag run because I only have a certain amount of issues in the American flag run. It's one of those side quests that I'm hoping to fill over time. Nothing too pertinent kind of thing. And he had some doubles, all of which I needed for my collection. And he sent me his blog spot. I looked through what he was looking for, what he was willing to part ways with. And he really needed he was hunting Batman Volume 1, and that's something I have in bulk. When I say bulk, I don't really mean a lot. I mean like 50, 60 issues of Batman, New 52 Batman, and Batman Volume 1. So I sent him about 20 books of Batman to help fill his run. I was going to send him Judge Dredd, but I decided against that. And not that I have anything against you, Psychotronic Squirt Gun, but instead of giving you an entire whole new run of something, I thought it would be more efficient, more effective of a trade if I was giving you what you were actually looking for than something you may or may not be interested in. So let's get into the books, and I'll talk more about Psychotronic Squirt Gun and his channel at the end. So first up, from Capital Comics, I believe this is a 1980s independent book, and it's in pretty great condition. This is Badger number 1. 1983, I see on the back. I don't know much about Badger. I don't know if that's a first appearance, but Psychotronic Squirt Gun recommended Badger to me based on communicating with me and my taste in comic books and so forth. So I'm looking forward to reading that. That's a book I plan to get to sooner rather than later. And then next up, he gave me Badger number 10. And the last Badger book he gave me is Badger 29. This cover is definitely more up my alley. Kind of looks like Wilson Fisk pointing his finger at like Wally West Flash or something. That's just what that cover reminds me of. Next up, I got a trade Martial Law Super Babylon. I guess it's a Super Babylon arc. It looks like a spoof comic. It's by Dark Horse from, I don't know the year. Let's see if I can find the year. It's definitely the 90s. I remember this being a 90s book. I'm not sure, but just following the tropes of the 90s, gotta be extreme and violent and grab kids' attention, shock factor. Dark Horse had Martial Law. Next up, I have Martial Law number 1. Again, don't know if that's his first appearance. This is a recommendation. Not something I asked for from Psychotronic, but I gather it's something he was willing to part ways with, something he wanted to get rid of. And judging by my tastes, again, in comics, I like ultraviolet things like Lobo. He offered me Martial Law, and I agreed. I accepted his suggestion of sending me Martial Law. Next up, I have Martial Law number 4. I don't know anything, if I haven't said that already, about Martial Law. But I'm digging the art. It's a unique style for sure. That's issue 5, by the way. And then next up, because I mentioned I have an interest in Kyle Rayner, he sent me some of the Grant Morrison and Mark Waid run of Justice League of America, particularly the Mark Waid era of the run. It just, Grant Morrison kicked off the run, which is why I'm including Grant's name in this. This is JLA 49. We have JLA 115. This is a Geoff Johns issue. I did not know Geoff Johns ever wrote Justice League. And now that I'm thinking about it, I bet you Geoff Johns had a hand in writing the New 52 Justice League. Geoff Johns was everywhere. Party foul. I'm gonna do some camera magic, fix these books, and get right back to you. Alright guys, I'm back. Excuse the interruption by my comic books. Next up I have JLA 116. This is JLA 123. Got Donna Troy in all her glory right here. One day I hope to get my wife in a sparkly jumpsuit similar to Donna Troy. Next up I have Justice League International number 20. This is part of the Lobo stuff he gave me. This is the third appearance of Classic Lobo. And he gave me, I now have 2 copies of the book that started it all for me. Once I bought other books in my first run to a comic store, but this issue, when I read it, was the comic book that made me decide this hobby is for me. This is what I want to do with my life in my free time. And that's Lobo number 1 from volume 2. We got Lobo number 2 from volume 2. Lobo number 3. Lobo number 4. Lobo number 5. And Lobo Cop. This is Lobo parodying RoboCop. It's a one-shot. And to end the Lobo material, Psychotronic traded me. I have DC First, Main Man Mayhem. I own all of these Lobo books, and in fact, when you're somewhere between 25 and 50 books away from having the complete appearance history of the character Lobo, there's pretty much not really many books anybody could give me. They almost have to get really lucky to give me a book I don't own that Lobo's been in. But nevertheless, I didn't mind taking on these books, even though they're doubles, and that's kind of not something I like to do, is acquire multiples of same issues. It takes up space, and it allocates money to things I already own when I'd rather allocate money to things I don't already own. But I'm thinking there's so many rumors surrounding Jason Momoa and Lobo, and I think James Gunn is the perfect guy not only to bring Lobo into a shared universe, but to direct a Lobo movie. It just seems like something that was made to happen. Whenever that happens, if it ever happens, I'm thinking I might curate a Lobo starter package and give somebody the gift of my favorite character, the character that brings me so much joy and happiness in life and in comic books. Share that joy and happiness with whoever that supports my channel, and possibly do a giveaway. But I'm thinking of doing that whenever a movie announcement or a cameo appearance or anything that puts Lobo into the pop culture spotlight ever happens. That's when I would do this Lobo giveaway. So, and just kind of the thoughts behind me taking on books that I already own, even though I don't particularly, I can use words, do that. Next up, a very niche character, but a beloved character of mine. I started out liking Captain Carrot because I thought it was ironic, funny, stupid to like Captain Carrot, but turned out into being a genuine, honest fan. Captain Carrot and his amazing Zoo Crew, number 4. Captain Carrot and his amazing Zoo Crew, number 9. Feels like an oversized issue. Captain Carrot and his amazing Zoo Crew, number 19. Yeah, very niche character. Another side quest. I eventually plan to complete that run and add it to my Captain Carrot collection. I'd like to get Karat as well from the New 52, and try to read the Justice League Incarnate run that Super Carrot was in. Captain Carrot, Super Carrot, I don't know. The newest iteration of Captain Carrot is in. And then we'll get into the books that spurned this whole trade, the American Flag books. American Flag number 11. You know, I've finished that Hitman run, and I just feel like American Flag just ties into all that Hitman vibe. This is American Flag. I almost said Hitman. American Flag number 12. American Flag number 15. This horse is Cybertronic, and I never knew that. And I've seen this cover in dollar vans all the time. I saw American Flag issues for $2 at Iron City Comic Con, and I've seen 25-cent stickers on this American Flag. So glad to have more American Flag books in trade versus paying $2 a pop. American Flag number 16. American Flag number 19. And for the end of Volume 1, we have American Flag number 40. There are 2 volumes of American Flag. I believe he goes to Russia, and that's why the trade dress looks to be in Russian writing. But this is American Flag number 5. And last but not least in the trade, I have American Flag number 12. So there you have it. Those are all the books I received from Psychotronic Squirt Gun via trade. I believe he showed off all the Batman books I traded him in a live show. So you'll just have to get lucky trying to look for the books I traded him. He mentioned today in his live today, as of the time of recording this, that he was patiently awaiting this video. So I'll be honest, Psychotronic, whenever you see this, I had recorded this, and I believe I deleted the footage, but luckily I hadn't bagged, boarded, and stuffed away these books yet. I still had them in a very accessible spot, so it's easy for me to get to these books. I do have, he traded me a Wolverine Sabretooth trade paperback. I'm looking at it now. I'm going to do some camera magic, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have Wolverine by Jeff Loeb and Simone Bianchi. This collects Wolverine 310 through 313. So that would be Wolverine Volume 3, 310 through 313. 4-issue arc right here, trade paperback. One of the many Sabretooth Wolverine arcs there are. And that was the trade that he put in there for me as well, since I'm a well-known Wolverine collector as well. And again, Psychotronic Squirt Gun, thank you for these books. Thank you for being a willing participant in this trade. You thank me all the time for my friendship. Thank you for your friendship. I don't feel like I say that to you as much as you say it to me. It's much appreciated, and I'm thankful for this community in general. I'm beginning to grow my network and socialize more, and just put more energy into this hobby, into this community, and I don't regret it. I would encourage all of you out there to just continue to network, continue to support other people, continue to get involved in the community, and you never know, you might find yourself in trading groups. I would encourage you to get into the idea of trading. I'm not saying if you don't like to trade, you're doing it wrong. That's the whole premises of my YouTube channel name, is fighting people that believe there's a right and a wrong way to collect. The only right and wrong way to collect is having fun or not having fun. If you're having fun, you're doing it right. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. Other than that, there are no other rules to this thing. But again, I still would at least encourage you guys to explore the idea of trading. You never know what you have that you've grown detached from in your collection that feels like dead weight. Maybe somebody else wants it. Maybe that somebody else has books you want for your collection, books you actually care about. So don't snub your nose at the idea of trading books. Yeah, I think I've said all I had to say. I'd like to mention Psychotronic Squirt Gun on his channel. He's doing this, he does this series where he's verbalizing the story of characters. He's introducing these characters, and I don't totally understand the concept. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really understand the point of this, or the where he's headed, the direction of what he's doing. But he does this series where he just kind of gabbing about characters he's built, this world he's built in his head. And then if you follow him on Instagram, he uses the gift of song to also help verbalize and bring a musical picture, if you will, to his characters. I think it's very interesting. I kind of like listening to these character breakdowns and character moments. But that's something you can expect from Psychotronic Squirt Gun. He also does like looking at random covers. He'll bring out random issues, I think, in his collection and kind of talk about them a little bit. That's something else he does on his channel. It mostly does the live stream format. It doesn't do a lot of pre-recorded video content, and that's basically all I do. Hopefully that changes one day, but yeah, you gotta just find Psychotronic Squirt Gun live or watch the replay. That's really how his channel works. A great dude in the community. All of you watching this are great people in the community. And until next time, everybody.